Hello sim racers and welcome to this latest Pitlane sim racing video. Today we're going into battle. We want to find out which sim racing title has the best version of the Porsche Cayman GT4. So we're going to pitch Assetto Corsa Competizione, iRacing and RaceRoom against each other while we take out the Porsche around the Silverstone track and work out which one has the best version. So come and join me on track. Let's get it on. Okay, so here we are in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Of course, we are in the Porsche Cayman GT4 and we are at the classic Silverstone circuit. Right, let's fire up and let's see what Kunos have done with their version of this GT4 car. It's got that unmistakable Porsche engine note and exhaust sound. Nice, like that straight away. Got a good highly detailed dash, everything is in the right place. And what I do like about this is if I move the wheel slightly, if I press a button, my virtual representation in sim presses a button. Little touch, but it really does help with immersion, especially in VR. It really pulls you in. Okay, right, let's see how it feels out on track.
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
Of course, ACC does accurately model cold tyres and cold brakes. It's one of the things I really like about this sim is it's so laser focused on such, a small subset of the overall world of motorsport, that they've been able to really dial in the sim to get all the features in that you'd ever want, really. I am of course using my GT4 straight drive wheel with a default Sim Commander profile, and I have Fanatic V3 brakes with a load cell. Okay, oh, loving that feedback from the curbs, where the sawtooth really vibrates through the whole wheel, through your arms. Go turn it in. Okay, let's open her up a bit. Oh, a little bit of understeer there. Remember, the tyres are still cold, which will also affect the braking at the end here. You can feel the car squirming around, feel all that weight transferring over the front. It's beautiful sense of mass, beautiful sense of weight transference. Even the different curves have different effects. So well detailed. Oh, just unsettled the car there, you feel the wheel go light. It's just really loving the way this GT4 car feels. Being the baby brother of the GT3s, of course you've got a lot less aero and mechanical grip to play with, so the cars are more lively. They will move around a bit more. In fact, even they've got less power, they're harder to drive than their GT3 big brothers because they're just not stuck to the ground. And this ACC version really does feel alive. But the physics model, force feedback, it's giving you all the information you need. To be able to react to what the car's doing. Oh, almost a little bit too late there. Just throw it in. That's it now, see. Tyres are starting to warm up. Starting to get a little bit more mechanical grip now. You can lean on it a lot more. It starts to really inspire some confidence. You feel like you can just chuck this car about. You could just feel the traction control starting to bite there.
Well done, mate. That's all fastest lap.
As you throw it in mid corner, you feel the car light because it just doesn't have the downforce there. This is so well modelled. The underlying physics, you can tell that Kunos have really taken their time, really gone into so much detail with these cars in this sim title. Oh, it comes in the classic Porsche understeer. A familiar trait you'll all know from just about any racing Porsche out there. Exactly what you'd expect. Just telling you not to take the mickey. Oh. Yeah, you can tell that this car is not stuck to the ground. That it's not loaded with aero. Whoa. And you don't have the big brakes of a GT3 either. I just love all those extra sounds you get. The road noise. You can hear the track rubbish and rubber being thrown up to the underside. Of course, nothing in the way of sound insulation. It's all perfectly modelled, accurately modelled. Yeah, this is a really good job. The other titles in this battle, they got a lot to live up to. Right, it's now iRacing's turn, and we're going to see what they make of the Cayman GT4. Let's fire up. And see what she sounds like. Ooh. Got that distinctive Porsche sound, but there's definitely more of a rawness, bit of barble, bit of popping and banging on throttle liftoff that you didn't get with the much cleaner ACC version. Let's see what it's like around Silverstone in iRacing. Again, I'm using a default Sim Commander profile for the force feedback to try and keep things as even as possible. Again, we're in lunchtime sunny conditions. Now we've got cold tyres, but we don't get cold brakes. But you got that little squeal there as the pads warm up. Nice little touch. Now the cockpit isn't as visually appealing in this iRacing version. ABS is a lot more aggressive. You can feel it through the wheel. It was more subtle in ACC. The driver animation isn't as good. In fact, iRacing's got terrible driver animation. Really does affect things in VR. Can get a little bit jarring sometimes, especially in earlier content. Just would be nice if they had more of a natural grip of the wheel and pose, but there we are. Can't have everything. You're getting a lot less information from the curbing on the iRacing version. That sawtooth effect of the curbs isn't as defined, isn't as clear. Oh yeah, a lot more responsive. The ABS is definitely more fierce. Definitely much better force feedback communication of that. Okay. Yeah, car feels a lot more. You're getting that mid-corner light, that floatiness as the weight transfers around on the apex. But it doesn't quite seem to give the same level of confidence as the ACC version did. You don't feel ready to attack quite so early with it. Overall, there just isn't quite the crispness, the sharpness of the visuals. To me, it definitely sounds better, just doesn't look better. No, in its default setup, it's just not. It's not quite as dynamic. It's not quite as exciting to drive as the ACC version. It does feel better under braking though, but that's about it. Oh, overshot the braking there. Yeah, definitely a lot more leery. Feels ready to bite you more. If anything, this feels stiffer, less compliant. Do you know, it hasn't got that sort of understeery trait that you'd expect from a Porsche. Feels a little bit too oversteery. It's definitely different to the ACC version. It's definitely stronger in some areas, but clearly weaker in others. This particular model in this sim title. So they do love the sounds, and I love the ABS effect. Okay, let's bring her into the pits. Okay, well, that's the iRacing version of the Porsche Cayman GT4. Okay, now it's time to check out RaceRoom, and let's see what Sector 3 have done with their version of the Porsche Cayman GT4 at Silverstone. Let's get ready to fire it up. And straight away, it's got that distinctive Porsche rasp, engine note, exhaust note. Just like ACC, very clean, not as raw, not as barbly as the iRacing version. Nice bit of reverb there, where we're sat down in the pit lane. Let's get it out on track, see how it handles. Really pronounced gear change sound there, which I didn't hear on either of the other two sims. Yeah, felt the sawtooth curb. Very, yeah. Not only do you get the rattle through the wheel for the sawtooth, but where it's lifting up the front wheel, there's definite jink of the steering wheel as well, so you're really getting the curbs coming. Nice bit of detailed information about the curbs coming through. Oh, back end somewhat lively. Very iRacing-ish. Not like ACC, which is far more planted. Allows you to be more confident, quicker out of the pits. Again, it's fairly crisp, detailed interior. Doesn't quite have that level of finish or detail that ACC has. It definitely doesn't have the same level of animation, although it's got a more natural look to the wheel, and the hands seem less jarring when you start putting some lock on compared with the iRacing version. which is nice to see, especially in VR. We've got to remember this is a DirectX 9 title, the other two are now DirectX 11. Oh, there's the push understeer. Porsche trait, same as it was in ACC, but somewhat lacking in the iRacing version. But this car seems a lot stiffer. You know, in default setup there, more stiffly sprung. Seems to be bouncing around more. You can feel the weight transfer under braking. It's really coming back through the wheel very quick, very direct. You know exactly, not only can you see the car squirming about, but you can feel it squirming. I like that, that's nice, that's nice. Right, let's got things warmed up a little bit now. Nice bit of tyre squeal there. It's right on the edge. Yes. Now that, you know, mid apex, when you're not on the brake or on the throttle, that floaty feeling you got that ACC had really nicely done. Again here, you get that floaty feeling when there's no, you know, no pedal inputs to settle the car down, but it definitely feels tail happy, very similar to the iRacing version. Although you can start to lean on it. Just the ACC, within half a lap you felt confident, felt like you could just go for it. The iRacing version, ooh, very snappy. Not sure if I like that feature. I think I prefer the more neutral, the more balanced feeling that you get from ACC. Yeah, if you just stay within the limits of the car, whoa, over braking. Yeah, it's just something just a little off. I think it's almost missing the fun factor. It's definitely a lot of bounce. It's very stiffly sprung. I think with ACC you could drive it, be confident and put in a good strong performance with a default setup. Same as with iRacing, you need to tweak the setup. You need to settle that rear end down to build up confidence, to be in a chance of racing at the top end of the grid. Which is a shame that the default setups aren't better. But I'm trying to compare them all as like for like, you know, out of the box experience. Same track, same sort of time of the day. I do like the way it feels under braking though. I do like the way that The information's coming very quickly at you through the wheel. They've got the braking, part of the force feedback and handling, spot on. They've got that power understeer, but I think where it's a bit stiff, it's just too snappy at the back end. Right, well, that's one car, one track, 3 sims. I've now got to go away, mull it all over, come to a conclusion. Because there's a battle, it's got to be a winner. And a winner there shall be. Okay, I'll see you in the conclusion part of the video. So that's it. That's the Porsche Cayman GT4, checked out in all the sim racing titles. Now we have to pick a winner. Somebody has to be number one. Well, you got iRacing, great sounds, love the rawness of the exhaust note, really thought the ABS was modelled well, came through the steering wheel brilliantly. Then you got RaceRoom, love the feeling under braking, really felt that weight, that mass move about, and it came through the wheel, really detailed. It was just, you know, you really knew what you were doing under heavy braking. Then you got the ACC version, beautifully detailed, fantastic animation from the driver, which really helps the immersion factor when you're racing in VR. So every title had something going for it, but overall I think the best version of the Porsche Cayman GT4 is the one you find in Assetto Corsa Competizione. That's it. That's my decision. ACC's version of the Porsche Cayman GT4 is the definitive one. So, what do you guys think? Agree? Disagree? Well, either way, let me know in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, like, share, subscribe, all the usuals, and I will see you out on track. But remember, race hard, always race fair. Thanks.